Here's the big moment. You need to get your drink because I know most of you have seen this. Jen has only seen clips, and she might.
No, I saw I literally saw more than half of the.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm done because he's just retarded.
Well, most of America felt the same way. And quite frankly, I only clipped up the first half of the debate anyway. All right, so get your drink, and here you're going to relive it. Here's the big debate. Who won?
He made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back. And he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
The tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Consider the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women.
7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state.
A record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers, By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open.
Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming out. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you hear any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any president say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas, torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people? And this is the guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out, because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on this. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is, without question, the worst presidency in the history of our country.
Jen.
It was 10,000, 100,000, that it was a lot. There was that. It happened. Nazis and fire. 10 million.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jen, he's the most energetic president ever.
Because they give him Adderall the next day. You see the next day? Take your Adderall.
The young people can't keep up with him. He outworks his staff.
What is he on? He's on Adderall. So they didn't give it to him for 7 days. So in case he had to take a drug test. And the next day they gave it to him and he was kept in his step. Back to Joe.
Oh my God. No, it was 9 o'clock at night. It was way past his bedtime. He only works from 10 to 4. He cannot keep his eyes open. Are you kidding me? Well, that wasn't the worst of it, but let's get to our comments. Biden was staring into the abyss. Yep. Nancy Pelosi's already hitting the bottle after hearing Trump. So proud of the way Trump stayed calm and on point.
Well, He had to stay calm. They should have Michael. But he didn't overspeak it only once.
Well, truth is that Biden overspoke more times than Trump.
You missed all the times he did the numbers. Oh, it was 1 million times. It was like 10,000 to 100,000 to 1 million.
Absolutely, I did, and I'll be honest with you. I agree with Van Jones. It was painful. So to watch it and cut it for I just couldn't do it. And also, I didn't know if our audience wanted more than a 6-minute clip. When Biden closes his eyes, he's really pooping in his underpants. Yep. Biden.
Bile.
Go ahead. What?
I said bile.
100% dementia. I just went through it with my sister.
It is.
It's called sunsetting. After the sun goes down, it's not a good thing.
Did you ever watch The Notebook?
Yeah.
He's her.
Yeah. Yeah.
On
Biden
point,
did it with
not on point.
Yeah, they turn into it's a terrible disease. No teleprompter, and Biden is lost. It was sad and embarrassing. Imagine what the world thinks. Trump said it. We're a laughing stock, and if you look at international media, they already know.
Israel said it. Israel said it.
Absolutely.
That we're gonna get destroyed, and they're afraid we're gonna get attacked because it's the way he is.
It's true. And Trump said it many, many times that Putin would have never went in if he was there because, they were afraid of him. They were afraid of Trump. Hamas was afraid. Afghanistan was afraid.
Because he is Putin. He's the American Putin. I don't mind Putin.
The interesting thing is in country after country in Europe, France just did it. They're electing far right candidates because this liberal socialism is not working and people have weak. Yeah. Biden should have switched to Duracell. Yeah, definitely. Liar, poopy pants on fire. The Border Patrol didn't endorse Biden, so Biden lied on TV. Yeah, I have his lies in a minute.
Yeah, they said that on New York One. And also people said that Trump didn't do well at all either, but then that totally went away the next day.
Yeah, well, Trump didn't do great. There was a point in the debate where Trump said that Biden should have apologized to him, and Biden said, "The nerve asking me to apologize
over my dead body."
The next time Trump had an opportunity to speak, if I was Trump and I said this in the moment, it's not just 2020, I was screaming it, trying to telepathically say it through the TV. He should have turned around and said, "You know what? You're right, Joe. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the American people for destroying our country." Those are Trump. The biggest problem with Trump is he's repetitive and he's hyperbolic.
Very and slow with his comebacks. He thinks of them later.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's how I am. I don't repeat, but you think of it later because you get almost not scared. You're confident, but you can't find the words.
You have so much in your head that you want to say that you can't, get it out.
It's hard.
He's been pretty good with his comebacks. I mean, I don't know what he said. I don't think he knew what he said. That was an excellent. He beat Medicare to death. Excellent. The problem is that there's so much to talk about, and he's literally distressed. Like
the brain overload. Brain overload.
It is. It's terrible.
And disappointment overload. Yeah.
Yeah, was he at his finest, Trump? No. There's so much hatred between those two men. It is not even funny. He also, I think Trump was waiting for the zingers from the CNN hosts, who, by the way, I think they did a fantastic job. Jake and Dana, they did a fantastic job. They just let it be a debate, which is what it was supposed to be. And so they didn't interfere. Obama put immigrant children in cages. Yes, we know that. Biden's son died here in a hospital. Yeah, he keeps. I had clipped that part where he called Trump a loser. He lied so many times, Biden, not even funny. Trump exaggerated, but everything that he said was factual. Like there was a part where he said that some of the governors, want to kill babies outside the womb. And he mentioned the Virginia governor, and they said, the news media said that's not true. I actually pulled up a clip. And the Virginia governor said, "We'll deliver the baby, and then we will."
Well, that's what they do. If you're in your third trimester, they deliver the baby. You go home. You're in. They make you contract and go into whatever labor, and then they go and they take the baby and they kill it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happens.